Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Graditam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitaamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Devyai Stavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidusura suraganah Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha Hari Om. A wise man becomes one with his Atma Swarupa. He becomes one with his very own nature. He understands Mano Buddhyahankara Chittani Naham Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. I am not the mind. I am not the intellect or the ego or memory. I am none of those upadhis. But I am of the nature of Chit, the consciousness. When such a knowledge destroys the ignorance, then it shines forth as Chidananda Swarupa Aham. When that knowledge shines in the heart, this is what happens. Nakatratvam nakarmani lokasya srujati prabhu na karma pala sanyogam swabhavastha pravartate. Then there is no more kartrutvam, doership, nor is there any interaction between the doer and the results of action. That karma phala sanyogam is not there. He knows that it is the nature of the body. Its inherent nature is to be active. All the upadhis do their thing, whereas I am the Atma. That Atma is just a witness, doesn't do anything. It does not make anybody do anything either. This is what the Jnani knows. And if we understand this properly, for us also there will be a lot of peace. It will be there in all of us. Instead, what do? What do? I take myself to be the doer. And when I take myself to be the doer, I experience the results of that action. But Atma does not do that. Then what happens? Nadatte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukrutam vibhuhu ajnanena vritam jnanam tena muyyanti jantavah. Atma knows it is not the actor, doesn't act. Therefore, it does not experience the results of action. Not a doer, nor the experiencer. So it does not take to any papa or punya. Karta is not there. Where will karma, papa karma, punya karma, how will they be there? It is a limited individual whose knowledge or intellect is veiled by ignorance. Ajnanena avritam jnanam. Knowledge is veiled, covered. Therefore, he is deluded. So this is the problem. Ignorance is the problem. So we have identified the problem. And naturally, what is the solution? If ajnanam, ignorance is the problem, what is the solution? Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitam atmanah tesham adityavat jnanam prakashayati tatparam. It's simple. If ignorance is the cause, is the problem, the knowledge is the solution. As simple as that. Only knowledge can destroy ignorance. The self-ignorance, the ignorance of the self, can be destroyed by self-knowledge. When you gain that self-knowledge shines adityavat, like the sun. It shines brilliantly. It reveals the supreme, it reveals one's own nature for oneself. So we have seen up to this so far. Verse 16 we saw last. So today we start with verse 17. Let us read. Tadbuddhayastadaatmanah tannishtastatparayanah gacchantya punaravrittim jnana nirdhuta kalmashah ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः गच्छन्त्य पुनरावृत्तिम् ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः. This is another beautiful verse. Bhagavan Sri Krishna talks about the various stages of sadhana. I will rearrange the words a little bit for the sake of convenience so that we will get a very systematic order of the various stages. The first stage is Tat Parayanaha. Tat here indicates that higher nature, the higher nature of Bhagavan, the independent supreme nature. Tat Parayanaha. I hold that as the supreme goal of life. Now, in ignorance, what I have done, I have taken myself to be the lower self, the inferior self, the ahankara, identified with the upadhis. That is what I have taken in ignorance. When I take myself to be that, depends on so many external factors to be happy. I want to have peace, I want to have security, I want this, I want that. So many external factors, they just have to be right. Then only I feel peaceful, I feel secure, I feel happy, all that. And any one of those external factors get disturbed, that setup is upset, I am upset. Every relationship subject to strain and problem. I cannot control everything that is external to me. I cannot control people. I cannot control their behavior. So all of them can upset me very easily. So dependence on those external things is unhappiness. So if they don't adjust with me, I have to adjust with them. So I have to dance to their tunes. I don't want to do that. Constant struggle. All the time, we're struggling to adjust those dials, those knobs. That's what I'm doing all the time. What a miserable life. So an intelligent attitude would be that I should be happy with myself. I should be secure, not because of the external conditions. I should be happy, I should be fulfilled and secure in spite of those things. That is inner freedom. The inner free self, being that is called moksha. That independence is moksha. That is called Brahma. So this liberation is not an event. In time, in course of time, I will be free. Or it is not something after death. It's a capacity to be comfortable even when situations are not according to my expectations. So I'm not afraid of the future. I'm ready for anything. Any of the future outcome will not influence my purnatva, my fulfillment, my completeness. I'm ever full. Apuryamana machala pratishtam Samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kamakami. See this beautiful verse towards the end of the second chapter. How the ocean does not depend upon the rivers. The rivers may claim, I am pouring all these waters into you. That's why you are full. If a river comes up to the ocean, imagine, makes that claim, the ocean will not even care to respond. Go get lost. Whether the rivers flow in or they do not, I'm ever full. Our experiences are like those rivers. Sometimes it is overflowing, sometimes it's not. Wonderful experiences come, terrible experience also come to us. With all that, in ignorance, when I'm associated with that ahankara, then I get disturbed. But when I understand my real nature, I'm not troubled at all. I'm ever the same. What a wonderful state of mind. Once I understand the glory of that kind of freedom, now my efforts in my life will not be to change the world. I will drop all those struggles. I will not struggle to change other people, which never works, by the way. My aim will be to put forth efforts to change myself. I change from the dependent, limited individual to my infinite higher self. Then I have become Tatparayana, a wonderful seeker. Now I have the direction in my life. The goal is set. So that's the first step. You have to have the right goal. That supreme Brahman is my destination. The next stage is Tat Buddhaya. I come to the scriptures that talk about my higher independent nature. Therefore, I come to know that Paramatma, that higher nature of mine. Here, Buddhi means Jnanam. Tad Buddhi. That Atma Jnanam I will get. Of course, there are intermediate steps or there, preparatory steps like Karma Yoga, they're all there. That is not mentioned here. It should be understood. So through Jnana Yoga, I understand my higher nature. First step is the goal, and the second step is the means. Jnana Yoga is the means. At this stage, Tad Buddhi is there. Meaning the intellect is gone into that. It has merged into the truth or reality. See, the intellect, our intellect, its function is to determine, ascertain the nature of anything as it is. The intellect wants to know what is it. And that intellect has determined the nature of that reality, the truth is this. And na anyata, it is not anything else. The intellect has ascertained the nature of the self to be Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Scriptures talk about that. I've heard it from my guru, and I've reflected upon it. I'm convinced. So after knowing my higher self, then I will not identify with anything lower. No more my lower egoistic self. But of course, it doesn't happen just like that, even after the intellectual conviction. My habitual tendencies are still there, vasanas are still there. So Deha Abhimana continues. So I may still say I am a samsari. I know I am the higher self, but I feel I am the samsari. So that's no good. We need to change that. So the next stage is I have to train myself to switch my identification from that lower individuality. I have to get over that emotional hang-up. I have to give up that notion. I have to give up the notion that I'm a great devotee, I'm a great bhakta. If not the language of bhakta, one may think that I'm a great sannyasi. I'm so great, I've given up everything. That is still ego. Even that has to be given up. After renouncing everything, you have to renounce that you have renounced everything. You have to renounce that you are a sannyasi. Even that abhimana, that identification has to go. It's not that easy. Not that easy. We read about it, we talk about it, we think we have done it. Not that easy. So the next step involves shifting the identity from the relative I to the absolute I. This is what takes the longest time. Knowing about the higher self is easy, but dropping the abhimana, dropping that identification with the lower is not that easy. The sannyasa ashrama is to facilitate that kind of a disidentification. So when a person takes to sannyasa, he cuts off all the relationships because every relationship involves a corresponding ego. The wife invokes a husband ego, the son invokes a parent ego. In sannyasa ashrama, you say, asangoham, asangoham. I don't have any relationship. All the sannyasi ego, guru ego, sishya ego, all that must go. I'm a great shishya. This is my great guru. He is great. Me being his shishya, I am great. That has to go. And, it's not that easy. Any kind of personality is samsara. So tad atmanah means identifying with the higher self, dropping the identity with the lower. This step is accomplished through, you guessed it, nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is the third and final step that helps you to get rid of the viparita bhavana. Then comes the final stage, tannishtaha. And Bhashyakar Shankaracharya has written so many shlokas describing this. For example, the Nirvana Shatakam. Shatkam or Atma Shatkam. Those 6 verses only for such practice. If you practice this deliberately, then it will become spontaneous to you, become very natural. External changes happen quickly, but internal changes take a long time. When that kind of a change, the transformation is complete, that is called tannishta, tat nishta, being established in that, abidance in that. When the transformation is complete, that is called tannishta, abidance. You get established in that higher nature. So the 4 stages are: first, value for discovering the higher self. Second is discovering the higher self. Third, learning to identify with that higher self. And disidentify with the lower self. And the fourth and final step is the identification becomes very natural. Such people are called Brahmanishtaha or Jnananishtaha. Here he says Jnana Nirduta Kalmashaha. Kalmasha means impurities. So all the impurities have been washed away. They are free from varieties of impurities. Ignorance is an impurity. After studying scriptures, ignorance goes away, but doubts are there. Doubts, again, samshaya, that is an impurity. Then even after removing all that, habitual vasanas are there. They still linger. That's the third impurity. So we have ajnana, samshaya, and viparyaya. They all come under this category of kalmasham, impurity. All of them are wiped out by the power of jnana through the appropriate steps, shravana, manana, nididhyasana. So once you are established in that truth, once you have gained that abidance in the self, you are called Jivan Mukta. You have gained the Jivan Mukti. You are liberated while living. And then when Prarabdha runs its course, the body falls off. And at that time, it is called Videha Mukti. Liberated only, even before liberated, before you had the body, now you have dropped that also. So, Videha Mukti, without the body. At that time, all karmas are washed out. So, there is no reason for you to take rebirth. The jnani, because he has not gained the knowledge and established in it, karmas are still there. Only prarabdha gets exhausted at the time of death, but sanchita karma is still there. But for a jnani, even that is rendered null and void. So no more karmas, so no more rebirth. So apunaravartim, punaravriti, coming back, rebirth. Apunara, not coming back. They attain videha mukti. They do not have punarjanma. Now comes a beautiful topic. They are called enlightened people, wise man, a jnani. They are called sannyasina. The earlier sannyasa, you are training, in progress. Gauna sannyasi, you are still working. Now, after having gained that abidance, mukhya sannyasi. So what indirectly Bhagwan is saying is, Arjuna, you want to become a sannyasi, you're just rushing through it. You want to go away from here, that's all. Run away. Escape. You just want to wear different clothes, beg for food and all that. Then you think you will become a sannyasi. That's not the way to do it. So now the lakshana, the characteristics of that sannyasi, that enlightened master, that will be pointed out. Their vision will be pointed out. What is that vision? How do they look at the world of plurality? The next verse is a famous verse, very popular. Let us read. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapake Cha Shuni Chaiva Shvapake Cha Pandita Samadarshina Pandita Samadharshina Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapake Cha Pandita Samadarshina. So in these two verses, 17 and 18, the benefits of this Atma Jnanam, the self-knowledge that is being said. What type of transformation does this knowledge bring about in the seeker's life? And this transformation, this change is not temporary. It's not temporary. The very way he looks at people, looks at things and beings, the whole creation is different than before. As we have said repeatedly, our problems are not because of the world and the people in it. Our samsara problems are caused not by the world, because the world is the same for everyone. So how come you are miserable? The other person, he is just happy. So problem is with us. Our samsara is not caused by the world, because the jnani is also living in the same world. Very same world, that is so much joy to him. For the jnani, the whole world is Nandanavanam. It's a relaxation ground. The world being the same, people being the same, everything being the same, jnani is able to enjoy happiness. Well, I'm not. That means the problem is not with the world. So Vedanta will not transform the world. It will transform my perspective of the world. What type of perspective will I have when I gain this knowledge? The world is like a mirror. I see only myself in the world. The way I look at the world depends on the way I look up at myself. Suppose I'm very particular about the way I dress. So it's a big decision every day. First stand in that walk-in closet or in front of the wardrobe. I spend half hour trying to figure out what I should wear today. If I'm such a person who takes so much trouble and to figure out what I'm wearing, all the accessories that I wear, everything. So if I'm such a person, what will be the first thing that I notice about anyone. If I'm particular about my hairstyle or the shoes that I wear, then I'll be looking the same thing in the other people. Oh my God, if I happen to wear the same dress as my coworker for some reason, oh my God, I had it. I want to look different. I want to look better. So, this is what happens. The way I look at myself, I look at the world the same way. If I'm an emotional, emotional, emotion-oriented personality, so sensitive to other people's emotions. Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi says in Sadarshana, Sarupa buddhihi jagadishwarecha, Sarupa dhiratmani yavadasti, Arupa atma yadika prapashyet, Sa drishtireka navadirhi purna. Even the God you visualize depends on the aspect of your personality that you are obsessed with. So both the world and God, I base them on my understanding of myself. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, a jnani looks upon himself as the Atma. He looks at the body as perishable, subject to birth, subject to death, and all that. If the jnani looks upon himself as the Atma, then how will he be looking at everyone? So in the jnani's vision, everyone is Atma. Just as I am the Atma with an incidental body. Similarly, everybody is really the same Atma. And each and every body out there is only a superficial coating. That's all. On the same Atma. The real substance is the Atma, that is the same. Therefore, Bhagavan says, for a jnani, there will be sarvatra samadarshanam. Sarvatra samadarshanam. The vision of oneness in everything, everybody. The samadarshanam is not through the physical eye. It's through the eye of wisdom. Physical organ will see the differences. But the inner eye will see that the differences are only superficial. So the differences, physical differences will become less pronounced. Samatvam will become more pronounced. That's all. This is the change in perspective. If you take a gold ornament, say a bracelet or a necklace or a ring, to the jeweler, and you want to trade in, the shopkeeper does not care what that ornament is. It's all the same to him. He only sees the gold. Doesn't see the shape or the name of the ornament. You take that ring. It was an engagement ring. Engagement got broken. Okay. You didn't give back the engagement ring. I tell you, I'm not going to give it back to him, that rascal. But I don't want to keep it either. So you take to the jeweler, get rid of it, get something in return. Change that shape, change that form. And then you make a nice, whatever ornament you liked. But that jeweler, he doesn't care. Those emotions are with you, not with him. He is Samadarshana. Okay, he will take that, weigh it. This weighs X number of grams. So you want to exchange this ring for a, let us say, a necklace. Okay, X number of grams, X minus delta. And he will give that to you. That's all. So he has a Samadarshana. In the same way, Jnani is a Samadarshi. Ajnani is Vishamadarshi. All kinds of different visions you have. The Samadarshanam is very natural for a Jnani. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Panditaha Samadarshinaha. Here, Panditaha means Jnani. Simple meaning in English, Pandita means a scholar, a learned man. But in this context, it means Atma Jnani. That's the meaning that he used in the first verse when he started the teaching. You may remember, second chapter, verse 11. Definition was given, Panditaha Samadarshinaha. So that definition is given here. The physical differences are seen by the eyes. The various sense organs perceive the physical differences. But the true perspective, in that true perspective, there is one vision. Where does he see the Samadarshanam, the Atmadarshanam? He gives a long list. A long list of things. Diverse things. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane. A Brahmana is one extreme in this scheme. A Brahmana is a cultured, informed, refined person. Sattva Guna Pradhana Brahmana. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says the title Brahmana can be given only to a Brahmajnani. The others are only in a secondary sense. Only a Brahmana, Brahmanishta, deserves to be called Brahmana. Here, Brahmana, who is endowed with Vidya Vinaya Sampanna, he is rich. Sampanna with what? Vidya, Jnanam. He has the real wealth of Jnanam. Vidya Dhanam, he has. The wealth of knowledge, he has. The material wealth can buy only finite things. Whereas knowledge, this Atma Jnanam is the only wealth with which we can get that infinite moksha. So the word Sampanna indicates one who is rich. And that richness is the Vidya, knowledge. The Varna Dharma, Brahmana should not be rich, the material wealth. Brahmana should be poor, the material sense. His wealth is only that knowledge. Brahmana should actually be voluntarily poor. His wealth is the wealth of wisdom. It is said, Vidya dadati vinayam. Vidya gives you humility. With Vidya comes Vinaya. Vidya Vinayena Shobhate. The beauty of wisdom shines with humility. Goes the other way also. You cannot gain Vidya without humility. To gain that knowledge, we've already seen many, many times. You have to go surrender to the Guru. If you go to a Guru with a lot of arrogance, will you get that knowledge? So, humility is required to gain the knowledge. And once you gain that knowledge, such humility will be Very natural to you. Just as the water flows from a higher level to a lower level. Mhm. So that is why you bow down, bend down and say, Adihi Bahavo Vidyam. Give me wisdom. That's what you ask the Guru. So Brahmana is one who is an embodiment of humility and wisdom. This is the highest in the scale. Then Bhagavan talks about the rest. Gavi, in a cow. Cow again is much respected in our tradition. In the animal kingdom, cow is considered a very sattvic animal. All the devas are supposed to be in the body of a cow. Then Hastini, in an elephant. Elephant is also respected in our tradition. But then comes Shuni, a dog. That is considered one of the lower level animals. Dog lovers, don't be offended. Either by Vyasa for citing a dog or me for reporting the example here. Then Shwapake literally means a dog eater. So you should understand that as an uncultured person. So on one end of the spectrum is a Brahmana and the other end is Swapaka. The question is, all these are same or different? Even as we read, we will see and say they are different. How can an elephant and a cow be the same? Of course, the differences are there. But the differences belong to the superficial, sthula, sukshma, sharira level. That's all. Yes, the physical bodies are different. Minds are different. Even the culture, character belong to the sharira, not the atma. Some characteristics belong to the sthula sharira, some to sukshma sharira. But atma is nirguna, doesn't have any gunas. So all the differences belong to anatma only. The jnani's vision is not focused on anatma, he is focused on the atma. Therefore, sarvatra samadarshinaha. We should be very careful here. When we say jnani is samadarshi, that samadarshanam is only in the back of his mind. The oneness is resonating in the subconscious all the time. He knows in transactions the differences are there. He does not take the elephant to be a cow or a dog. A jnani who has this vision is not going to go to his guru and say, you and I are the same. Till now, I have been prostrating to you. Now that we are both same, you do namaskara to me. Will he say that? No, guru as a guru has to be respected. But let the wisdom be there in the background. Even when the lady knows that all different ornaments are made of gold, she will wear the bracelet on her wrist, not on her neck. The ear stud will be in her ears only. These days, this ring, there is some confusion. It goes in every part of the body, but notwithstanding that, generally we know where each ornament goes. We have seen this idea of Samadarshana in the 4th chapter also. The famous verse 24. Brahmarpanam brahmahavi brahmagno brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena gantavyam brahma karma samadhina. So you see Brahman in everything. One the same Brahman in all of them. Same idea is put in a different way. A man of equal vision is a sannyasi, he is a jnani. This is achieved only through great preparation and knowledge. It's not come just like that. Without preparation, such things do not happen. If one does not have the proper understanding, there will be a lot of problems. Hindus are ridiculed for worshipping trees, animals, and stone. Why? Because they don't understand us. When we worship a plant or a river or a mountain, we are not worshipping the form. We are worshipping that Brahman that supports all that multiplicity. On a lighter note, let me tell you a story. You all know the Emperor Akbar and his wise minister Birbal. One day they were walking through a forest. Akbar saw Birbal bowing down to various trees and plants along the way. And Akbar, on seeing that, what are you doing? Birbal said, this is a tulasi plant. We consider it as our mother. Huh? Akbar uprooted that plant and threw the plant away, muttering something under his breath. Little while later, Birbal did namaskara to another plant. Seeing this, Akbar also again picked up that plant and throwing away asked Birbal, is this your father? Birbal didn't say anything. A few minutes later, he saw Akbar crying aloud. He was itching all over. Birbal said, a mother is very compassionate. She forgave you when you did that. But now this father is actually poison ivy that you picked up. The father is not very kind. That's why there's only one quick solution. What is that? Tell me. I need relief. In the forest, there will be cows. And you know, we worship cows also. And cow is a giver. She would have left some gift. So you stop and pick up that gift and smear it all over your body. The itch will stop. You may stink a little bit, but the itch will go away. So the wise see the external differences and they deal with them appropriately, but they still see the oneness. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.